I've been a troublemaker, I've been a lean-up player, I've been broke, it's a joke, I've been a money maker, I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator, I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky thing, popping, lock and stop and let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip-hop, it's like it stings. We make the whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk, we gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool.
Hello. Welcome to Sports Buzz, a Fan-atical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here live in studio, Comcast Cable, Channel 23, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, on this November 14th. Feels a little bit more like January or February 14th. Mucho frio, que calor. What's with these cold temperatures? I think maybe warming up tomorrow, though. Gonna be nice. 50.
Last couple of nights I went out, I had to do fire police for
it's cold out.
Fires, and it was 19 degrees.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been cold. A couple of days where the high was only like 30, low 30s. Freezing. Bob, our right-hand man, is here. Let's say hello to him, Mr. Bob Broad Jr.
Hi, Scott.
How you doing over there?
I've been very busy this past week.
Christmas shopping already?
No, that's I haven't started all that yet. I've been busy with the Veterans.
Veterans Day, yeah. How did that go on Monday?
Well, not only Veterans Day Monday, since last Thursday I've been busy. I've been to 18 different places.
On fire calls?
No, for Veterans Day things.
Oh, wow. They got you running all over the place.
Well, we do a lot of color guard stuff, so.
That's good to get out there. And I saw they had, would they have a guy who was 103 years old?
Yes.
From WW2?
Yes.
Did you see the new series that just dropped on Netflix?
No.
The Great Events of World War II. They got like all the old footage that they've remastered, recolored, and they're telling like 10 different episodes in like an hour long each. I just started watching Blitzkrieg and the Battle of England so far.
We were at one.
Pretty good. It's really good.
We were at the Marine Corps one up here on West Street. That's 244 years this year. Mm-hmm. Then we went to one at a nursing home. One of the guys was there from World War I. Uh-huh. And then we had another one that we went to where we had two guys from World War II.
Wow, some old timers.
Still around, and God bless them.
It is amazing. There's going to come a day where there will be none of them left.
I know.
But there are still some guys kicking around.
Like I said, the American Legion is out there doing everything. Especially Monday, we went out and put 172 flags out for this.
And it was cold through this weekend.
Yes.
And windy.
Actually, I got one tomorrow for Connors School at Rogers Park in the morning. We have some. They got.
Where is Connor? Where's our production assistant extraordinaires, Jenna and Connor?
The American Legion has a meeting tonight, which I will be there tonight right after we leave
7:35.
So I have to be, there for that, and he's been busy with that and stuff. So he's been working a lot of stuff on his computer and things. So.
All right. Well, we are lives 203-792-4101. I think the Strange Man will be calling.
Yes, since we changed the new time.
Since he already called, thought the show was on at 6:30. I hope everybody's enjoying the new time slot. We're liking it because it means our man Mike the Met Jet Maniac is here on time.
And actually, I have to give him congratulations since he beat my Giants.
Jets, Jets. What's going on over there, Mike?
Yeah, that was some game, all right.
Up early, almost blew it.
Yep.
Came back, rallied, defense, fumbled, recovery, touchdown, the whole bit. We'll get into that in a minute. But how's the winds howling? Because you're down in the city for work, right? Mm-hmm. Have winds been whipping through the the buildings?
Yes,
surviving the cold.
Yep.
It's been chilly. All right, let's. I want to touch on a couple of things quick first before we go to football. MLB. I mean, are you guys into this Stein stealing? Everybody's trying to shred the Astros now, or is this a thing because they beat the Yankees and the Yankees are crying sour grapes?
Because
it happened to the Yankees.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I think, but I don't know. I mean, stealing signs is part of baseball.
Right.
I guess now in this day and age, some teams are starting to employ and get caught using technology, and that's where the line gets crossed. But I mean, I don't know. It's a complicated thing. Like if they got a camera out in center field, somebody's watching what's coming up on the signs.
Right.
They relay that to the dugout. The dugout's got to get that out to the batter, all in a matter of seconds.
Right. Well, now how do you get that from a pitching point of view, where you guys are sitting behind home plate watching the guy what he's going to throw and?
Well, they're looking in at the catcher's signs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I just think the whole process of having to relay that out to the hitter and the hitter being able to use that.
Right.
How much really is that going for? And it's amazing to me, some of the, the media is just, they just crack me up. Everybody's using the term whistleblower.
Oh, yes.
There's actual real whistleblowers in something much bigger than this going on in the country right now.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's like having a little wink and a nod. Oh, there's a whistleblower calling with baseball. It's like,
Right.
So anyway, I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal myself. I think the Yankees, should have done a better job hiding their signs.
That's all.
And taking care of on their own end. If everybody wasn't trying to steal signs, nobody would have to disguise their signs.
Right.
This is the way sports goes. People hide what they're trying to do with their signs because they know they themselves, as well as everybody else, is trying to steal signs. That's part of the game.
Right.
You got to get a little bit careful with the use of technology, I guess. That's where some people try to bring it to a different level, but it's all just part of the game. You got to do a better job. How about your boy DeGrom? And
Yes.
Also Alonso won Rookie of the Year, right?
Yes.
So a couple Mets bring home. What was going on in the National League this year? Was there no good pitchers? Because I just
there
don't
was
think
good
DeGrom
pitchers,
was
but-
great this year. I'm not saying he wasn't good to very good, but was he outstanding where he should be landslide Cy Young Award winner this year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he?
I think the difference was Ryu from the Dodgers had a lead earlier in the season, but his last 6 starts weren't really that good. Whereas DeGrom, if you look at him, I think his last 3 starts, how many scoreless innings he had? He had something like 20,
Yeah, almost
20-something plus scoreless innings. So, yeah.
So he finished strong,
yeah.
and because early in the year it didn't seem like he was having that great a year. He settled down, just kind of went about his business, I guess, and then finished strong. He did win in a landslide. Verlander wins it for the Astros.
Which I'm so very surprised because I'm surprised Strasburg didn't win.
Strasburg had a pretty solid year, and Strasburg could have won in the National League
That's what I'm
over
saying.
DeGrom. I mean, we'll see.
That's
We'll get
the
Strangeman
strange
in the
one.
line. I know Strangeman's got some thoughts on this Stein ceiling thing, but we'll see what he wants to talk about. Hello, you are live and on the air on Sports Buzz during our new time slot, 7 to 7:30.
Wow, that really freaked me out, Scotty. Strange man here. What are you doing?
Well, Strange Man, you dropped off on us. We missed you for the celebration of episode 300, and that's when we announced the time change. Where were you?
I don't know. I was on another planet, so I'm back to Earth.
How's things on Mars?
All right, well, we welcome you back with open arms and in our new time slot. What do you got on your mind?
I just want to say that I am really happy for the Mets. They picked up 2 huge awards. Pete Alonso, the Rookie of the Year,
Yep.
and Jacob DeGrom getting his 2nd Cy Young. He got 29 out of 30 votes.
Yeah, it was a landslide victory, and he also was a Rookie of the Year as well.
Yes.
Which is a short list I don't have in front of me. Maybe somebody could look that up. But he joined some selective company in that short list of people who have won Rookie of the Year and Cy Youngs.
Okay, so in the American League, I believe wasn't it Alvarez of Houston that got Rookie of the Year too?
Yes, Jordani.
Okay, so
Alvarez.
the Rookie of the Year for was Houston Alvarez. What's his first name? Pete?
No, Jordani? Is it? It's
Alvarez. What's his first name?
Jordani Alvarez, I think.
it's
It begins with a J.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Jordani Alvarez got American League Rookie of the Year. Pete Alonso got National League Rookie of the Year. And then Cy Young's, okay, you got Jacob in the American League, started American League. Okay, now, there's Verlander over Cole.
Interesting, because Cole had slightly better numbers, really, and he didn't
he
lose a
did.
game since May.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this. Verlander has never won a World Series game.
Yeah,
No, he
0
is.
and 5. Did he
Yeah.
fall to 0 and 6?
0-6.
6, yeah.
I know he was
So
0.
anyway, he picked it up over his teammate.
Right.
And of course, Cole had a great season. Now, in the National League, it was Jacob deGrom getting the nod, 29 out of 30 votes. And then Rule of the Dodgers, he came in second. And then Scherzer of the Nationals came in third.
Well, Scherzer was banged up at points in the year and missed a bunch of starts, so I think Strasburg would have been a better choice there. I'm
Right.
surprised he finished below Scherzer. The MVPs just came out. Did you hear that or no?
No, I didn't. I get to that in a second. But I did want to say something about the Nationals pitching. Now, Strasburg got MVP of the series, so
Yep.
you figure there's no way that he's going to get Cy Young, too. I don't know where he placed, but that would have been interesting. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Has that ever happened before? A
Cy
pitcher
Young
gets
winning the
World
MVP
Series
of the World
MVP
Series?
and Cy Young?
I would
trying to
imagine it
think.
has. I'd have to look that up.
I think Carlton did it once.
Steve Carlton?
Yeah.
Really? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's been
it's a
some great
couple
pitchers,
guys
I'm
like
sure.
that. Bob
I think
Gibson.
Ryan might have done it once, too.
Yeah, it's a couple guys
We'll have to
that I
look
would
at that
like
up.
to look and see.
Maybe we'll
Okay,
check.
now,
We'll look that up.
now this one, I'm going to be controversial on this, and a
Okay.
lot of the Boston Red Sox fans will be mad at me, but I think for the manager of the year, Aaron Boone, baby Bronx Bum, should have got it. I think he got ripped off.
No.
No.
The guy from the Twins or the guy from the Rays should have got it over
Right.
Boone. Boone's got, he's got too much talent on that team. The guy for the Twins won it. And, the Twins came out of nowhere, had over 100 wins, tremendous season. And the Rays have the lowest payroll in baseball. And they
I
had
know
a
they had a
tremendous
very
year.
low payroll, and they did very good. But
And the
look,
guy for
Aaron
the
Boone
for the
had-
Athletics
you
as
know,
well.
You know how many injuries? Aaron Boone had to had to fill his diamond with AAA players,
Oh,
and they
who
were
cares?
lucky to
Cry
get
me
to
a
the
river.
playoffs.
Cry me a river. He had to.
I'm serious. I think he did a great job. All right, so
Yeah,
anyway,
some-
for
yeah,
the
somebody else is
manager of the
pulling the
year in
strings.
in the National League, wasn't it the St. Louis Cardinals manager?
Yes, it was. Well, I don't even know his
Okay,
name.
MVPs, I didn't get it. Okay, go ahead. Who got it?
Bellinger for the Dodgers, and disappointing. Mike Trout gets his third for a team that finished 1,000,000 games out of 500 again, or out of first place again. I don't see why Mike Trout wins these awards when he's on a team that wins in the game. 70 wins on the year. The guy that everybody hates now for the Astros probably should have won it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the Mets manager now, I believe, isn't he in?
And
he
Trout
is
didn't even
the
finish the
Angels
season.
now,
He
the
was
pitching
injured.
coach, right?
Beltran, yes, and then Terry Collins is supposed to be his bench coach.
Ben,
Yeah, so I think the Cubbies manager is now ex-manager.
David Ross.
He's managing in L.A. for the Angels, and then again, the old Mets manager. He's a pitching coach now out there.
oh, is he?
Yeah, with the Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
With,
Cowboy.
with Matt, yeah.
Okay.
All right, now just two more things, if I could.
Let's keep it moving.
Well, I know I went on Google and I read about this. The investigation is beginning into the cheating scandal in Houston.
Sign
where
stealing.
They found a spy cam in the center field. Well, a player.
Well,
came
did
forward.
they find it, or is this what the player's saying? Let's not say they found evidence yet. This is only the
No,
player
they
saying
didn't
it.
find evidence, but a player came out on Google and said that there was a spy cam planted way back in 2017 in center field
Right.
to steal signs.
Yeah.
And also, a Google report said Alex Cora and the new Mets manager that they
Beltran.
want Major League Baseball, the commissioner's office, wanted to interview them. So
they were part of the staff
that they're
thing.
going to show up with attorneys when they speak to anybody from the commissioner's office.
It's not a court of law. They'll probably just go and talk to the commissioner and say whatever happened happened.
Well, I would. Hey, look, I wouldn't show up, especially if that conversation is going to be recorded without an attorney there.
I don't really see why they need an attorney to go talk to the commissioner. They're just going to do a regular interview. They'll ask them the questions they got to ask, and that'll be that. I don't know. They might hand out some big penalties over this. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be slap on the wrist type of stuff.
Well, like we talked before, during the course of the game, the indicator will be changed just in case that teams are trying to steal signs. When I was playing, we did that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's part of what teams do because everybody's stealing signs. That's
Well,
what
yeah, I mean, you get a runner on second, he's looking in, and he could be signaling back to the dugout. So, again, indicators are changed frequently because of that fact. Right? And one last thing, there's a horrible incident in California.
Yes.
I think it happened this morning. So I want to say to the kids out there before I let you go, Scott, that no drugs, no gangs, and no guns.
That'd be nice.
Strange man.
Yeah.
As one veteran to another, thank you for your service.
Yeah, and you said, Bobby, I was in the United States Air Force, Cold War of Terror. What branch are you in?
Army.
Army. Okay, again, thank you for the service. And two other things. I heard that the Celtics are on a run. Is that true?
9-1, won 9 straight since the opening night loss.
And I haven't had time to follow. How are the? I had my Bruins Nick Cap on. How are the Bruins doing?
Bruins are in first place. They've had a weird week where they've lost a bunch of games in overtime and shootouts, but they're still getting points in those games. But they're pretty hot. They are 11-3-4, 26 points first place in their division.
Yeah, they can only get that first quarter back from last year. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got to move on.
Go ahead.
All right, we are moving on to other stuff. Thank you for your call. Thank you for your service.
Okay, thanks, guys. Strange man over now for now, God willing.
All right. Strange man, catching up.
He's catching up with us.
He needs to call more often, or otherwise he's going to take up the whole show when he calls. So, I don't know. You see where I'm at with the sign stealing thing. I don't think it's that big a deal.
Okay, let's move on to our...
I want to mention before we get to NFL just that the Seattle Sounders did win that MLS Cup final on Sunday against Toronto. That's their second title. Interesting that these two teams faced each other for the third time in 4 years. So Seattle and Toronto building quite a rivalry. They had split the first 2 matchups, each winning one. Some USA players on that Toronto team, Jose Altidore and Michael Bradley. USA is going to be without Pulisic this weekend. The wonder kid who plays for Chelsea now, who's been on a roll. Ironically enough, since he got benched, pulled from the game against Canada where they lost 2-0. And he was not playing really for Chelsea at all, but he's been red hot since then, playing in those Premier League games and in the Champions League games. But he hurt his hip, and he's sitting out these matches with Canada and Cuba in this Nations League CONCACAF tournament that continues this weekend. So that's a big blow for USA. But Seattle wins their second title for the MLS. All right, NFL, we mentioned it briefly already. But yeah, last week the question was, who would this hurt worse? Giants or Jets? We kind of figured it would hurt the Giants more. How does it feel, Bob?
Pretty much.
Especially when we were ahead.
Yeah, I mean, after going down 14-0, you did take the lead.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they snuck back.
And the Jets, just finished strong. Jamal Adams, who I see the firefighters have a signed jersey in a raffle coming up. He predicted it, and he got it. Well, all right, so how about before the show we were talking, why do the Jets feel like they needed to give a ringing endorsement to the psychopath Adam Strange Gaze?
It's way too early to do that.
I don't know why they feel like they got to do that this week.
Let's finish out the season and see what happens. I mean,
yeah.
If you go like someone said, if you lose the rest of your games, then what are you going to say?
I mean, the previous 2 weeks they had lost 2 games to, teams down in Florida, the Jags and the Dolphins. They beat a Giants team that's not that good. So, you know, and all of a sudden now he's like, oh, I can see Darnold's looking good. He's progressing just the way we want. You know, the season did get lambasted by the mono situation. So I would say that we don't really know what this Jets team could have been this year because of that. But still, I mean, I just don't know that Adam Gase has all that much to offer. And you don't need to give him a ringing endorsement at this time of year. But they did get the win, so they moved to 2-7. They take on the Redskins, who are 1-8. There is a battle now for because the Dolphins have now won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Dolphins beat the Colts. So, you know, all of a sudden the Colts are in a tough spot with Jacoby Brissett hurt and missing that game, and then leaving early in the previous game before that. But now the Jets, the Redskins are going to get the number 1 pick if you're going to be looking to see who's battling for that top pick as they take on the Redskins this weekend. Steelers at Browns tonight. Steelers moved to 5-4 after they beat the Rams. We got that nice throwback photo from the Super Bowl way back in the 70s of that Steelers-Rams matchups. Rams, they are in a tight spot themselves, as a matter of fact, falling to 5-4 with other teams in the NFC ahead of them. The team that represented the NFC in the Super Bowl might not make the playoffs as things are right now. They are really struggling to score points, the Rams, offensively. Browns did get a win over the Bills this weekend. How about that? This picture right here shows Jarvis Landry. I believe that was his first touchdown of the year.
I think so.
I mean, what is going on with the Browns? 9 games in before one of their superstar receivers gets his first touchdown. So Steelers, Browns, Patriots at Eagles this weekend.
Which should be a very interesting game.
Yep. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Eagles 5-4, tied with the Cowboys 5-4. Cowboys had lost to the Vikings at home in that game. Vikings got back on track after the loss they had the week before. Vikings moved to 7-3. Cowboys fall to 5-4. How about this? Patriots coming off the bye week. Eagles coming off the bye week. 3rd straight game the Patriots play against a team coming off a bye.
Yeah.
What's up with that? They got to play all these teams that are always rested?
Yeah.
Everybody complains the Patriots haven't played anybody. I'm complaining they're playing teams coming off byes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. They'll look to get revenge from the Super Bowl and also get back on track after that loss to the Ravens. Texans at Ravens this weekend. Texans 6-3. This is a good matchup of 2 young quarterbacks.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's the talk of the town right now, and maybe the front runner in the MVP race as the Ravens move to 7-2. Steelers, Colts, Raiders, all 5-4. Steelers actually have moved ahead of those 2 teams with the tiebreaker for that other wild card. Titans at 5-5. Titans with a big win over the Chiefs this past weekend in what was a high-scoring affair. Chiefs defense better get their act together, or else this season's not going to end the way they want. As Mahomes came back from injury, looked pretty good. And the Raiders had beaten the Chargers. You can't trust the Chargers at all.
No.
You know, they win 2, but, you know, they get upended. I will give them a little break because everybody loses or their games get out of whack when they have to play on Thursday nights on short weeks. And they did, losing to the Raiders. And we mentioned the Colts lost to the Dolphins, but I think Brissett will be coming back. I think he could have played this week, actually, but they thought we could maybe get by against the Dolphins, but they were wrong, and they lost that game. Packers got back on track, beating the Panthers in a game. We saw our first signs of snow.
Yeah.
That looked good. They moved to 8-2. Panthers fall to 5-4. They're struggling maybe to get the playoff spot. Saints, what was up with them losing to the Falcons this weekend? Crazy.
Yeah,
so they fall to 7-2. That's a big loss for them.
Too happy with that.
That could cost them a bye week, really, that game. If the Packers and San Fran, who lost to the Seahawks, or the Seahawks all stay out in front of the Saints, Seahawks 8-2, Packers 8-2, San Fran 8-1, losing in overtime to the Seahawks. Saints 7-2.
The most undefeated team too.
Last undefeated team went down. They were winning at halftime of that game, looking pretty good. Seahawks came back. Seahawks, pretty good team this year. You got to give them credit. College football, so we had the two matchups of two undefeateds versus two undefeateds. LSU goes to Tuscaloosa, knocks off Bama 46-41. Bama scores 21 points in the fourth quarter after being down 33-13. Those 21 points might get Bama into the playoffs.
I did.
If you believe that. We'll see how it shakes out. But that is what people are going to say at the end of the year when Bama, if they get in with one loss, back to that playoff again. That game they lost wasn't that bad of a loss, even though it was at home and they were getting crushed 33-13 before they put up some garbage time points. Minnesota upends Penn State, a battle of two undefeated teams. So Minnesota was 17th. They finally play somebody.
Right.
They win it, knocking off Penn State, which was in the top four.
Okay.
They moved from 17th to 8th. Why can't they move up, Minnesota? They did what they had to do. They knocked off an undefeated team. Penn State falls to 9th.
Yep.
Clemson moves to 3rd. Georgia is ahead of Minnesota at 4th at 8-1. They get Auburn this weekend. Baylor is 9-0. They're 13th. They're at home against Oklahoma this weekend, which has fallen to 10th at 8-1. College basketball, come on, UConn. I mean, I guess I know why no one's going, and we see all these empty seats at Gamble.
Yeah.
Does that mean I could go up there and get a ticket for
You
cheap?
could go up there and probably sit on court for.
They got crushed. They were losing this game to St. Joe's 42-18
Yeah.
last night in the first half, and we're going to see a lot of that from the coach with the hands up. 96-87 was the final. They did have a better showing in the second half, but that is ridiculous.
1 minute.
All right,
a minute left.
Only a minute left. We Strange Man mentioned, Celtics 9-1. They did lose Hayward to, unfortunately, a hand injury, left hand, non-shooting hand. He can continue to rehab that leg, which he says he was completely over. He was off to a great start. Kemba's looking good in green. Porzingis returns to the Garden tonight. They did beat Dallas already down in Big D, 106-102, but they get to see Porzingis return this evening to Madison Square Garden. And in the NHL, your Rangers, Bob, 6-2-2 in the last 10. So they have righted their ship, but they're still only 6th place in the wild card at 18 points. Islanders remain hot, 9-0-1, 27 points, but they are still second behind the Capitals, who are red hot at 32 points.
We are live next week.
Live next week. So we'll be here again at 7 o'clock. Thank you for everybody tuning in. And the crew for all being here. You guys are great. Can't do it without you. We'll see you next week.
Keep talking.
Oh, we still got time?
We got some time
I'm
left.
drinking my water at this point. That was terrible. All right. So we're going to talk it out. You guys got any thoughts on hockey? Mike, you into hockey?
Of course.
Who you like?
The
your
Rangers.
The Rangers.
Rangers, all right.
We need to.
Capo Caco.
Yes.
Capo Caco
Okay,
had
now
2
we're
goals.